Welcome to your Networth Network. I'm your host, Corey McNabb, and this is a networking style podcast where we bring on special guests, we have them talk about themselves, talk about their business, and figure out how we can all work together. My goal in life is to rise to a place of excellence, and I want to bring you with me. So, that being said, let's bring up our special guest, an amazing human being, Mr. Dmitry Mohov. Dmitry, how you doing today?
Hey Corey, good. Good to see you.
Awesome. Well, so everybody watching, just so you know, Dimitri is the founder of Spin Art Nation. I got the chance to talk with him uh, about a week, maybe two weeks ago at your facility down in Atlanta, Spin Art Atlanta.
Yep.
Uh, Amazing facility, crazy stuff, like stuff I never even considered, you know, being like doing. Great date ideas. If you got a significant other, definitely take them there if you're in Atlanta. Um, but sorry, that jumped in. You know what, Dimitri, just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So I live in Atlanta, Georgia, for the last 10 years. Before that, I was living in Florida. And yeah, so you visited me at facility that we just recently opened. It's downtown Atlanta. It's 2 minutes away from Georgia State University. Great location. So this is our seventh Spin Art Nation location. So we have locations in five other states, um, and we are actively growing. I also own escape rooms, extra in places in a few different states as well, and I own a marketing agency and a call center in US. So I'm primarily basically in the entertainment industry. So this is what I do. And yeah, lately we've been working very actively on growing our Spin Art Nation brand. It's just after the COVID, we opened first location, and it just took off really well. And so um, since that time, I've been working actively and growing and opening new locations.
Gotcha. So, like I had said earlier, when I walked into Spin Art, well, first off, honestly, I thought I was in the wrong place. I didn't know didn't know that's where it was, but it's a unique business. How did you come up with the idea for Spin Art?
So, I am in general like pretty creative myself. Um, and so I like to do different unique things. And it's just one of the things that I had extra space. So I have extra place in north of Georgia, north of Atlanta. And I had some extra space there. And I wanted to open like something there, right? And I was looking and thinking about, okay, I want to open something with a paint. I don't know. I like painting. Again, I'm not artist by any means, but I wanted to do something cool. And there is a paint and sip places exist. So originally, before COVID, I was thinking to do something similar to paint and sip, and we opened right before COVID, and then COVID hit, and we had to close, and it was very tough. And during that time that we were open, like few months before COVID, it was very tough, and I realized that it's probably going to be not that easy as I would expect, just because the concept exists for years, and there's a lot another players in a market who is well established. So for us, it would take much longer and much. It's going to take us a lot of marketing money to to become successful. So during the COVID, we start brainstorming. We need to come up with something else, and so this is where actually one of my guys who worked with me, he brought up the idea like, hey, I've seen the guy in Montreal, Canada, um, who is doing something cool, and I meant to show it to you. And so he showed me the guy. His name is Colin Schwab, I think, if I'm pronouncing it right. And he's doing basically art on a bigger scale. So he does a big canvases like 10 by 10 size, and he sells them for incredible amount of money, right? But it's like one at a time, basically. So he creates as an artist, he sells them, and he's doing looks like very good living out of it. So I looked at it and I really like the concept, and we start brainstorming. Well, how can we make it something where normal person, can come in and just have some fun, maybe with the kids, mom with the kids, or like date night. And so this is where we start like brainstorming and saying, okay, can we do something? And then we created our first spin machine at that time. And yeah, and then the rest became history. So we built our spin machines. We start marketing after the COVID, and actually, it took one influencer to come in, who we even didn't invite. They just saw advertising, I guess, our advertising, and they came in. They shoot one video, and it went viral, and it just took off. Basically, people start traveling from all over the place. Like some people traveling like hour and a half, 2 hours away, like all the way from Alabama, just because they saw like Instagram video of of that experience. And so it took off, and yeah, we start growing, and then slowly, I opened another location in San Antonio, Texas, and then again, one at a time, start opening some other locations in other
Gotcha. So I've been to your newest location in Atlanta, um, and you have multiple different things. They're all paint related.
right.
Um, but can you, for someone who hasn't been there, like, what can they expect when they walk in?
Yeah. So right now at this newest location, we have four different experiences. We also, we are growing, and it's a regular spin art, at the spin art tables that we invented, and then we have a bicycle spin art. So bicycle spin art story, it's very interesting. So again, spin art as we doing it, nobody have been doing it in the country, right? So we are first, and I knew that, and I actually went and bought all like Spin Art Atlanta. That's my domain. So I went all around the country, and I actually bought all spin art domains, like Spin Art Chicago, Spin Art Miami, Spin Art, like LA, like all around the country. I have like, I think, for all big cities, like I think I have probably around 160 domains, just because I felt that this is something I want to invest in, and start growing, growing nationally, basically. So interestingly enough, at one of the business meetups, somebody introduced me to another guy who opened a bicycle spin art in Chicago. And at that time, I was looking to do spin art in Chicago. I was actively looking for space. So it immediately got my attention, and mainly because again, I knew that nobody is doing spin art. So how come? Like where they got this concept from? So I'm meeting the guy. We start talking. He also has a escape room industry background. So he owned escape rooms just like I am. So he knew about me. He had a actually licensee who bought his product in Atlanta, and so what happened is, he heard something about the spin art concept in Atlanta. He called his licensee in Atlanta and sent them in to spy on a product. So they actually came and experienced what I was doing, and they really liked the concept. But I really liked what he did. So he didn't just copy what I was doing. He actually took a step forward, and he's like, "Man, what if we can do it something on a bicycle?" And he created a bicycle spin art. So he created a bike, modified it, and made it where two people work together. One is biking and pedaling, and another one is creating art, which was like super cool. So we met, we clicked really quick, became friends immediately. And so he find out that I'm expanding to Chicago, right? So like, I think 6 months later or something, I found a space, and he actually contacted me, and he's like, listen, so I know you expect expanding to Chicago. I don't want to be your competition, so can I offer you to buy me out? And he had two locations there existing already and operating. And we start talking, and again, I really like the concept that it's a little bit different and unique experience, and I don't have to compete if I'll buy him out, and it's just all worked out in everyone's favor. And yeah, and so this is how we start offering bicycle spinners. So we offered it in Chicago, and then we start offering it obviously at my other studios as well. So this is experience number two. Then experience number three is the splitter studio. So this is something that I didn't came up with also. We saw that more and more splitter studios actually popping up in the different cities. And one of the regional cities, actually, I think it was Atlanta. There's one studio that started doing it. So we noticed that we start, following and checking how are they doing, and they've been doing really well. And then in other cities, same thing. And we tested it in one of my other facilities where we had some extra space, and it was received really well, and so we started offering that. And then the last experience that we built here, I really wanted to try for a long time, but I never had a proper space for it. It's a rage room. Now, rage rooms exist for a few years now. The difference, what we do, is because we're all about paint, right, and painting. So in the splatter studio, we use a glow paint, which is super cool. We have UV lights, and it's a glow paint, and it's all glow, and it's fun. Like people are really enjoying it. So we merge a rage room with the glow paint party. So we're not only giving customers a package of breakables like a cups and some electronics and some plates and bottles, but we also give them glow paint. So we have a UV lights installed, and you actually put a glow paint like in a bottle, let's say, and you smash it, and it flies everywhere, and the glow paint flies everywhere. So it creates like a cool experience, and it looks so much brighter than normal rage room. Um, that yeah, we start offering it, and again it's very very successful. So we like so far how all of these small experiences work together. Like basically when you book with us, you can actually book multiple experiences and you get multiple discounts. Buy a spin art and then add a splatter studio, or buy a bicycle spin art, add a like rage room. It's pretty cool.
That is awesome. So, have you, I guess, gone back and made all your studios have the same experiences? I know you had said the Rage Room was something, I guess, fairly new because you didn't have the space. So, is there only like one or two Rage Rooms?
So as of right now, there is only one reach room, but I have already plans to actually build it in two more locations of our existing locations. So yeah, we're gonna expand that because again, we try different concepts and see what works better, and basically, duplicate it in our other facilities. And this is beauty to have multiple locations because you can test different things. Like usually, I like to test things in my Atlanta facilities, and then if it's successful, then I duplicate it to my other locations. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So, pretty much any location someone can go to and experience spin art, bicycle spin art, and the splatter room.
Yeah. So again, locations is different on our website. Actually, if you go on our website and you choose the different city, it's gonna tell you what it's offering, right? So we have one location in Chicago that we purchased, right, from that guy. He only had a bicycle spinner there, right? And it's such a small location that there is nothing else we can feed. So that location just offers, bicycle spinner. But then again, my location that I opened, another location in Chicago, offers splatter studio and a regular spin art. And again, on a website, it's clearly states like you go to
Gotcha.
this location, you can choose this experiences. You go to that location, you can choose different experiences.
Gotcha. Okay, cool, cool. So you said you own spin art, you own escape rooms and axe throwing places,
Yep.
um, and a variety of things, right? You said a call center, I believe.
Yeah. Marketing agency and a call center. Yep.
Okay. So I know you're focusing more so on spin art right now. Um, is that the most profitable business? Is that your favorite business, or is there one that you really either find easy or really enjoy outside of spin art?
So yeah, the reason why we focus on this business right now is just most profitable. It's basically, I'm always looking at new businesses, how much upfront investment it requires and what's return on investment. right? And it's just from all businesses that we have right now, this one seems to be, best performing. But I also love escape rooms. So I am working right now currently in Phoenix, Arizona with my partners, and we planning to open their escape room. So we right now negotiation stage of space for it.
Nice.
I
Okay.
like escape rooms as well. With escape rooms, like originally I opened for my first escape room, I opened about 10 years ago now in Atlanta, in downtown Atlanta. And at that time, it required very limited amount of investment to open one. But now, 10 years later, there is so many escape rooms, there is so much competition that in order to be successful, you have to invest much, much more money. So my first escape room location, I spent about 150K. And then my second location I was opening a few years later, I spent like originally about half a million, right?
Wow.
And so it's much more expensive. Where now, right now, if you open an escape room again, we expecting to spend a lot of money, right? But I can open a spin art studio for like less than half, right? So it cost us about, like, let's say everything included, about 200,000. And again, return on investment on spin art studio right now, it's much much faster than on escape room. So, but both lucrative businesses. And so I'm always looking basically for new ideas, for new concepts, and just, seeing how they perform before I'm gonna open one. So I would just check competition and see, okay, how are they doing, and just follow them for a while. And then, if I like what I see, I would probably wouldn't mind to try and open one and test it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So, guys, check out Spin Art. Is it Spin Art Nation?
Yeah, so it's spinartnation.com. Yeah, the website.
Okay, spinartnation.com. Go check it out. Find a location near you and definitely go experience it. It's amazing. It's just like I like to think I'm a creative person, but they take creativity to a whole new level. Okay, so go check it out. I think you'll have a great time. And that being said, like Dimitri, is there anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, so with the spin art, what's cool about it, you don't have to be like painter, you don't have to be very creative. That's the beauty of it. Like kids 4 years old can do it. It's just, you pour the paint, it spins. In a splatter studio, you just throw the paint and it creates art. So it's just fun environment, fun experience. If you want to bring your kids with you, it's awesome. If you want to bring your date night, it's great. If you want to bring the whole family from like 4 years old to 94 years old, everyone will have a good time. This is why, like, we say that this is the one of the unique places where the whole family can go together, and that's what it is. Want to mention something. So if you're watching it right now online and you're wondering and you want to learn more, and maybe you're a potential entrepreneur just like myself, and you're wondering what would it take to bring it to your town. So I'm actively looking for partners in the different markets. If you're in like metropolitan area, um, and you interested to explore, reach out to me. Or if you can share my information, like either email me or call me. That's going to be, way to reach out to me. Yeah, this is my information. I'm actively looking for operators. So basically, if you're operator and you want to open and run actively business, reach out. We'll talk, we'll discuss how it works. Also, if you investor, and for example, maybe you like in core in sub two groups, or you just buying and flipping houses, or you have portfolio of rentals and you want to diversify. Business is a great way to diversify your portfolio. So reach out to me as well, and we can partner up where you can become investor. So you can be a passive investor who is investing your money and parking some money in business. I offer very, very generous and good terms for investors. Usually, like, if you bring the full amount of investment needed for new location, I give a 50% of the business away. So you're gonna have 50% ownership, and yeah, we work together, we grow together, because without partners, it's hard to grow as fast as you would like to. Just to give you idea, I actually register a trademark and I registered a franchise. So I officially actually can sell franchises online. But my focus for franchise is smaller markets. So not the major cities, like in cities like Miami, New York, LA, and some other big cities. I would like to have corporate stores, right? But in the smaller cities where it's like suburbs or some smaller rural areas, I would like to sell it as a franchise concept. This way, I don't have to invest, money in the smaller markets where I can focus on the bigger markets, but still I can benefit from working with franchisees. So that's the concept. And if you're gonna ask me, okay, what's your end goal? So my end goal is to open 100 to 150 locations and sell them all as a package to the hedge fund. The reason why I want to go this route is like if you already own the business and you want to sell it, you probably know. In entertainment industry, it's like multiplier usually 1.5, 2, maybe 3. Um, and if you want to sell it with a bigger multiplier, so then this is when it comes in where you can find a big investor or hedge fund, and they would buy your whole portfolio. It works a little bit differently because then multiplier goes to 10, 12, 15. And so everyone who partners up with me, we're gonna have exit all at once, and then everyone will just profit very, very nicely. So this is my kind of long-term goal for the next 10, 15 years.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. So definitely, if you want to partner with Dmitry, reach out to him. I'll throw it up here in just a little bit because I do have a couple questions for you, Dmitry. Um, and it might just be restating some things. So
Sure.
if you're ready, let's get into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So first off, Dmitry, what made you want to be on the podcast today?
Um, Exposure. The main thing at this point is exposure, because I think we have a great product, and I want world to know about it.
Fantastic. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think you got something special here. Um, so that being said, I know you just gave uh, people a way to do business with you. So why are we doing business?
Hey, it's a good question. I can tell you that. So right now, I'm already have lined up a new location in Las Vegas.
Okay.
I don't know if you know Chris Moore.
I've heard the name, but I haven't connected with him yet.
So there is basically Chris Moore and few other investors. Chris Moore works with um, Dealmaker, Dealmaker events.
Okay.
Like they do the business events all around the country, and very, very cool group of people. I follow there closely. It's pretty cool. If you don't know anything about Dealmaker, Google it. You can thank me later. And yeah, so we're working with a few investors working on Las Vegas, and I'm actually actively trying to find a partners for Miami. I know that Miami is a great market, and now that another market, I like Florida as of right now. At least I'm looking at Orlando, Tampa, and then at North, I like New York. So yeah, Corey, if by any means, if you have any interest in any of these markets, or you want to just like invest, um, that would be awesome. Yeah, I'm
All
always
right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I know you're hanging out with a bunch of us in the real estate sector. So if you got anything, I'm looking to buy in Atlanta. It's just single family, so we could definitely just collaborate on that. Um, Outside of that, what would you say are your strengths when either in business or in just personal life?
So I think my strength comes with my creativity and ability to find talent. What I mean by that is it's hard to find good employees, and it's even harder to find good partners. I'm sure you heard a lot of times that never partner up with like anyone, just do it yourself, just because, horror stories where partnership goes south. And to be honest with you, I've been lucky and I've been very selective with people who I choose to work with, just because I know how important it is to find and choose the right people. Um, more and more, like more and more people approach me, want to partner up with me by seeing, me growing and having success. And I'm being very selective with who I work and, and why. So
Hmm.
I think this is one of my strengths is to finding right partners. I can probably easily say that my partners is actually smarter than I am. They have more energy than I am. Some of them definitely have much more money than I have, and some of them have more time than I have, right? But this is the key to find the people who has something who can do something better than you are. And if you can do it this way, you're gonna have success. But it's not easy. It's easier said than done. Um, but I think yeah, this is one of my strengths to find right team.
Wow. Yeah, that's definitely a good one, especially when like you start growing, you're gonna have a lot of, like you said, you have a lot of people coming to try and partner with you, um, or even just people coming in to, just to talk to you, right? But you got to be careful because they're every now and then you'll get that one person that's jealous or they have a negative mindset and they try and bring you down. So it's definitely good that you're being picky about who you're, partnering with and hanging out with. So that leads us to the next question, which is the flip side of this. So, what would you say is your weakness?
Yeah. So one of my weaknesses is for some reason I've been always kind of like shy and not believing in myself. And this been stopping me a lot from, like from networking, from being at podcast like this. I have an accent, so I'm foreigner originally, right? I've been born in a different country, and that's like this language barrier always was a problem for me. Where I couldn't start conversations, I was always thinking that people would think that I'm either dumb or stupid or something else. So that was always challenge for me. I'm trying to overcome it slowly, and I still have a ways to go. Another thing is I'm not smart and I have a bad memory. So I always had a problem in school. I couldn't like learn well enough and quick enough. There was always kids much easier learning, and school was given to them like much easier. For me, it was always struggle. So I don't have like education level as I always wanted to, just because I cannot pursue it. I knew I'm gonna be dispelled or something, and I always was looking to learn more. So now I'm finding time and reading, books. I'm going to different seminars more and more just to kind of to close this gap where some again I sometimes I feel like I just don't know enough about the subject, so I'm just trying to you know learn more about it. So that's, I guess, one of my weaknesses where I'm not a lot of times I'm not educated enough. I feel like I cannot have a smart conversation with a really like educated person. I'm gonna be like, man, I just wow,
Hmm. I think I think there's an important thing to mention here, though, is that there's an unspoken there's levels to intelligence or education, stuff like that, right? Like, I'm kind of with you there. Like, I didn't go on to higher education when it comes to like college or anything like that. Academics, right? I'm not academic person. Um, but when it comes to life experiences and things that you've struggled with, things that you've overcome, you have knowledge in those types of things that maybe academic people don't, right? So don't get yourself down, Dimitri. I think you're super smart, and actually, I think your accent could be a superpower. In that, like, it makes people want to listen, right? Because it's so unique, right? I've got just a normal Georgia accent. I don't think I have an accent, but I've heard people tell me I sound country or whatever, and that can get boring. So, like, I definitely think you have a superpower there. So, don't feel bad, man. I think you're doing great. Um, which, that being said, let's go into what is something that you need help with that would help make you money in the next 30 days.
Okay, this is very good question. As of right now, I need again, I need probably new partner with the money who is just ready to execute like today. Hey, here's the money. Open it at the market where you think is the right, and yeah, that's probably it. And then at that market, I need somebody who would be integrator. So somebody who would say, hey, if you have money, I'm here. I have time. I have energy. I have knowledge to some degree. Help me, guide me, and let's make it happen. So, like literally, if I had right now somebody with the money and somebody at the market where I want to be, like one of the bigger markets, like again, like Miami potentially, I would just start immediately. So, uh, open account, register company, and just start executing, like looking for space like crazy. Because right now, one of the things is actually very hard to find the spaces. It's very limited and very expensive. So yeah,
Okay. So if you're watching this and you're open to being a private money partner, reach out to Dmitry. If you are in Miami or one of the other markets that he's looking for, reach out to him if you think you'd be a good integrator. And then I'll even throw one in there. If you have a space that you think a spin art uh, business would thrive in, reach out to Dmitry. Let's get this guy
that's
going.
That's a good one. Yeah, yeah. One of my like desires in the future right now, each space I'm looking for, I'm leasing, right? So it's going to be like long-term lease, like five-year lease plus 5-year extension. But honestly, I would like to get to the point where I can actually start buying real estate because this is the way to go. I understand it. It's just I'm not at at that level yet where I can afford it, especially with today's market.
Hmm.
But honestly, man, this is the way to freedom is buying a real estate and opening in the spaces that you own. Like I'll give you example. So I've been recently partnered with Abraham Gray. I think you know him, right?
Hmm.
So we opened a mini golf place. It's called Pot Nation, and I've been partner on this project. And it's just amazing what Abraham does, right? He's, I'm at this level. He's like ten levels higher, right? So he approached me at some point of time, mentioning like, "Hey, I'm working on this idea. Would you be interested in potentially partner up?" And I said yes. Immediately, he started working on space, and like some time later, he brought me uh idea like, "Hey, so I'm looking at this space. What do you think about it? Do you like it?" We looked at it, and it's like amazing. And he bought a plaza. So basically, he bought a building. There's 3 units at this building, and we're talking about few $1 million. It's like it's crazy. Um, and so he bought a building with 2 tenants on both sides of this building, and then the middle unit is empty, right? And so because of this empty unit, he bought a whole building, right? This is so cool. And so for him, tenants already paying for the mortgage for him, and so the space that we got, technically, again, I don't know all of the details, right? I'm not on a part of this buying portion, but tenants paying for his main space that he want to utilize, and now the space technically is free for him, right? But again, for me as a part of the this mini golf place, obviously we are as a tenant, we paying him. It's pretty cool, and I looked at it, and it's so smart, and it's amazing, right? And so I love to learn from people like Abraham. I like to learn from people who is on a different level because it gives you a different perspective, and it help you you know, to open wider your range of what you can do and what you can even imagine. And it helps you to get there in one day.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. Yeah, Abraham's definitely a good guy to learn from, just in so many realms. Business
Yep.
buying, lending, real estate, all of it.
Yep.
So one day I'll have him on this podcast. One day.
Hey, yeah, good goal.
So normally, the last thing I ask is where people can get in touch with you, but we already kind of talked it, so I'm gonna throw it back up here. Um, like I said, guys, if you want to be a private money partner, if you're in Miami and want to be an integrator for them, or if you have space for them to put in a spin art in your location, reach out to Dmitry
Yeah.
and let's get it
Any
going.
any big city, New York again, LA, Boston. I mean, any of the big cities will work really, really well for our concept for sure.
Fantastic. Well, Dmitry, that's pretty much all I got. Is there anything else you want to add in?
No, that's probably it. I mean, it was wonderful. I'm so glad that we met, and thank you for invitation. It was a pleasure. I definitely look forward to learn more from you as well, from real estate community and subject to community. You know, it's amazing. I mean, you guys doing the amazing things, and I want to learn from you as much as you probably want to learn, from me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, yeah, no, I mean, I really appreciate you coming on. And hopefully this will help out, your business either here in Atlanta, get you a new one going up. Like, I want to see you succeed, man. I really appreciate you opening up your space for the meetup that we had where we met. And I think it's awesome. I do think this community promotes the best in people, not just within the community, but even the people around us. So, um,
I agree.
I'm glad to have met you, and I can't wait to do business with you, man.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Awesome. All right. Well, guys, that's our show. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to Dmitry and go check out I messed up, spinartnation.com. All right. Go check it out. Go find a location and go experience it. All right. Outside of that, there we go. Like and subscribe. Uh, Join us next week. Leave us any comments, concerns, questions, whatever. I might look at them. I might respond to them. Doesn't necessarily mean I'll take, like if you make a concern, if it's stupid, I'll tell you it's stupid. But you know what? That's what we're here for. We're here to get better. We're here to rise to a place of excellence. And sometimes that means pointing out when you make a mistake. So that was a little rant, but here we go. Until next time, have a wonderful day.